For this particular problem, we're going to use Heron's area in order to find the area of a triangle. Notice that this works if we have all three sides. If we look at this example, it talks about how the crow flies, meaning directly, not necessarily following the roads. So we're going to start in Los Angeles, and then we're going to fly, or as the crow flows, to New York, and that takes 2,451 miles. And then from New York, we're going to fly to Montreal, and that's only 331 miles. And then from Montreal to Los Angeles is 2,427 miles. So notice that we have all three sides, but not an angle. So we can use Heron's formula that in order to do that, we need to find S. S is equal to 1/2 the sum of all the sides. So I need to add up the 2,427, the 331, as well as the 2,451. So we're going to figure out what that is. So we're going to call that S, and that ends up being about 2,604.5 miles. So we added them all up together, and we divided by 2. Notice you can also store this value, and you can store it as the letter S. So now that you have that, that makes our life a little simpler. So that way in our calculator, in order to find the area of a triangle, we're going to get the square root. We're going to type in S, parentheses, S minus one of those sides. I'm going to just start off the first one that we wrote down, 2,427. Then another parentheses, S minus 331. And then another parentheses, S minus 2,451. Close our parentheses. All of that should be underneath the radical. We can stick it into our calculator just like this, and we should find the approximation for the area to be 401664 square miles. So let's try this again, except this time let's use the area of a triangle. So we're doing the exact same problem. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my Los Angeles, my New York, and my Montreal. We know our distances from each one of those. Notice that we're going to use our equation that says our area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 one side, another side, and sine of the third angle. So in other words, we have two sides, so we're okay with that, but we need to go find an angle. And in our case, it really doesn't matter which angle. So I'm going to use the law of cosines that says c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. So just to remind yourself that whatever angle we put down here has to be corresponding to the side that we have over here at the other end of our equation. So we have all three sides, so it doesn't matter which one I pick. So I'm going to say 331 squared is equal to 2,427 squared plus 2,451 squared minus 2 times, and I'm going to put each of these distances in there, 2427 and 2451, and we still have our cosine of c. So the only thing we don't know is c. So I'm going to do all the math so we can figure out, I'm going to get rid of all of our squares. So we have 31 squared. Then we're going to divide by -2, 2427, 2451. And that's the same thing as cosine c. So in order to find the angle, so I'm going to take the inverse cosine of both sides. So we're going to find that angle C is equal to the inverse cosine of all of this. So, and we should find that to be approximately 7.76 degrees. Now that we have that, we can use our formula for the area of a triangle. So we found angle C. Notice that angle C is opposite of the 331. So this is my angle that we found. So I'm going to find the area of our triangle is equal to 1/2, and then I pick the two sides surrounding my angle times the sine of my angle C, 7.76 degrees. And again, what we can do is put that as a store key, and then we can put it whatever angle we want. We'll call it A, so that in our calculator we can actually type in A here. And we will find that our area is approximately 401,664 square miles. And that concludes this video.